So BlockFi is apparently coming after Oprah's job now. You get a Bitcoin, you get a Bitcoin, and you get a Bitcoin. Everybody gets a Bitcoin. This is crazy. So picture this. You're at work, you pull up your phone, and you notice some guy on YouTube talking about personal finance and investing. He's not that good or funny, so you smash the like button anyway, because you feel sorry for him and his bad magic tricks. And then you decide to pull up your crypto portfolio because last week was a roller coaster ride, right? And lo and behold, you notice 700 Bitcoin got added to your account. You have a heart attack, the end. I'm a millionaire. Wow. Wait. So here's what happened. BlockFi, which is the company I mentioned at the end of my videos where I say, go get up to $250 worth of free Bitcoin using this BlockFi link right here, blockfi.com/Andrei. That company accidentally sent 100 users random amounts of Bitcoin. And one of those people got as many as 700 Bitcoins added to his account for free. So this of course added a huge amount of speculation as far as a loss of control, a loss of funds, and that this is what crashed the crypto markets. So in today's video, I want to go over exactly what happened, what caused it, who was affected by it, and then I want to speak directly to BlockFi to finally get some answers and get them to rebrand themselves to the real Robinhood. Hi, my name is Andrei Jikh. Hope you're doing well. Come for the finance and stay for the free Bitcoin airdrop. So, true story. If you've never heard of BlockFi, BlockFi is a company that makes its money by lending our crypto to other institutions. So we, their customers, deposit our crypto with them, and in exchange, they pay us interest for taking on that risk with them. Now, traditionally, the rate has been anywhere between 6 to 8%. But recently they dropped that rate down to an effective 2%. So it's obviously a lot lower than what it used to be, but still higher than what we can get with a bank. Now, this is one of my favorite ways of making passive income. There's dividends, there's real estate, and crypto has been a huge catalyst for helping people make passive income. Now, in March of this year, they started running a promotion where they were paying people money on their deposits, except instead of paying people out in GUSD like they normally do, they paid people in crypto. So you can see where this is going. It's unbelievable how some of their users got an insane amount of money. I've seen screenshots of some people getting 6 Bitcoin, some who got 13 Bitcoin worth over $1.7 million, 19 Bitcoin, and someone who got 101 Bitcoin worth over $5 million. But none of them come close to the person who got 701 Bitcoins worth over $25 million. So quick, check your phone, open the BlockFi account, and see if you just won the lottery. Come on, BlockFi, show me the airdrop. No, didn't get any. I know this might sound silly, like it's all fun and games, that what's the harm in some people getting some free Bitcoin, right? But this is something I take very seriously and personally. BlockFi is a company I mention a lot at the end of my videos. And even though I'm not contractually obligated to speak positively about them because I'm not sponsored by them, this is still something I feel responsible and accountable for. Because I keep most of my money, in fact, all of my crypto with BlockFi, both my Ethereum, my Bitcoin, everything, which I know is a risk. But this giveaway is not a risk that I calculated and took into consideration, because this is how I want people to get introduced into crypto, by getting some free Bitcoin, because who doesn't want some free money, right? But the thing about what happened is that some of their customers that were sent this Bitcoin that did not belong to them were able to move this Bitcoin off of the exchange before BlockFi was able to get a chance to reverse the transaction, which means now it's theirs. But technically that money was yours. And it was mine. And if it's not our money directly, then it's definitely BlockFi's, which is still a big part of what makes them solvent and operational. But what if it was worse? What if they took way more money and it caused way more damage? Because the thing with crypto is there's no call center you can call to make this situation right again. Once that money hits someone else's wallet, it's as good as gone and no one can do anything about it. So BlockFi actually sent out an email to its customers, which is maybe an email you got that I'll share right now, and then we'll finally get to talk to them directly. And here's quickly what the email read. Our records indicate that your account is still in an overdraft status based on your incorrect withdrawal of a crypto amount that you did not deposit or earn with BlockFi on May 17th. Please return your latest withdrawal amount to your BlockFi account immediately, as states in the interest account terms fraudulent activity, including Any attempt to withdraw funds that you did not own, did not transfer into your account, or did not purchase is strictly prohibited. And this is where it gets a lot darker. It says, failure to return the erroneously received assets by 5 p.m. Eastern today may constitute a crime and will result in BlockFi taking legal action. If you initiate the return by that time, we will apply a $500 GUSD, which remember is a stablecoin, to your account for any trouble this has caused. So luckily they realized what had happened quickly enough to where they were able to reverse the transactions before they hit the blockchain, which remember, once they hit that blockchain, that's it, there's no getting the money back, and they were able to reverse them. But there were still some customers that fell through the cracks and were able to withdraw that money faster than anything else, and they got to kind of keep it. Luckily, BlockFi has enough money to handle situations like this because they had something like $15 billion of assets under management in the first quarter of this year, and they were able to raise $350 million in Series D funding, which was their latest round of funding. So they're more than prepared to handle situations like this, but I still wanted to reach out to them directly to get the answers from the source. So the first question I asked from them is, what happened and what actually caused this?
So basically what happened was somehow on Friday of last week, 100 people received BTC denominated promo instead of a GUSD denominated promo.
Right.
So like if you were to receive $50 in Gemini USD, you received 50 Bitcoin instead of 50 GUSD. And it was it wasn't like everybody in the promo, it was 100 people. It was isolated, right, to those 100 people. We found out about it on like Saturday morning. And then the entire company, basically, like everyone on the finance side, started working immediately over the weekend. What we had to end up doing was, well, we made a mistake, clearly, right? In our terms of service, when you sign, there's some terms that cover this particular course of action. And we basically just went out and called everyone that we sent the payments to and started collecting back the Bitcoin to our balance sheet.
Another question I had to ask is, of the Bitcoins that were lost, how many of them were actually recovered?
We recovered about 90%.
Okay.
And the remaining outstanding is about a couple $1 million. And we are still just in like works collecting, just getting in front of people, making sure we get them on the line and bringing the funds back into the door. A couple $1 million is obviously, and for some people, a lot of money. For BlockFi right now, in terms of an operating loss reserve capacity, it's very small. We just raised a $350 million round. We've raised 500 million of equity. You raise equity like that for these particular circumstances when an accidental mistake happens, right? You can't, it sucks. It is what it is, but it's an accident and mistakes happen. Did the crash happen because BlockFi mistakenly paid people out and they started selling? Absolutely not.
Are you guys pursuing any legal action to get those back, or?
Technically, if you withdraw something that's mistakenly given to you on the BlockFi platform, it's fraudulent. And you're agreeing to that when you click through and sign our terms. We never want to approach a situation where we have to be like aggressive on the legal front whatsoever. It's just not how we roll. But there were, I think, some small edge cases where we got people on the phone and they were like, we're not giving you the money back. Sorry. You made a mistake. It's your fault. I don't care about the terms. Terms don't matter to me, whatever it may be. And in that circumstance, there were emails sent.
Just wanted to jump in real quick because this is super important. If you were to send someone Bitcoin by accident and then want to try to take legal action to get your money back, it might not work out in your favor. Now, right now, if your bank gives you money into your account by accident, you are required by law to give that money back. Otherwise, it's considered theft and potentially fraud. But that's not always the case. And the best example that comes to mind is Citibank, which, if you remember last year, accidentally wired hedge funds $900 million. And here's what happened to them. Some hedge funds said, whoa, Citibank, this is not our money. Here you go, have it back. And other hedge funds said, thanks, Citi. I think I'll keep this money and use it to short GameStop. Probably. But they sued them. And in February, Citibank lost that court case. They lost 500 of the $900 million they sent over. And the reason that the hedge funds were allowed to keep Citibank's money is because hedge funds invoked a New York law that's called the Discharge for Value Defense. And it literally says this. It says, when a beneficiary receives money to which it is entitled to and has It's Nat. And has no knowledge that the money was erroneously wired, the beneficiary should not have to wonder whether it may retain the funds. Rather, such a beneficiary should be able to consider the transfer of funds as a final and complete transaction, not subject to revocation indubitably. In a nutshell, what this means is that if you are legally owed money and legally owed debt, and if you are given that money without your knowledge that it was given to you by mistake, you can theoretically keep that money. Except in this case, it's going to be very difficult to argue that you didn't know you were accidentally withdrawing $20 million. I mean, I knew BlockFi was supposed to give me $20 in interest payments, but I didn't see the other 6 zeros, Judge. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but in this case, it probably won't work. Except it might. Magic of Finance, Andrei here. Here's the thing, there's no standard or precedent of something like this happening in crypto to this degree, which means someone can just say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know I was withdrawing all that money, and oops, I'm so forgetful. I don't remember the password to my cold storage wallet. So even if the courts don't believe that person, they rule against them and they send them to jail, that still doesn't get the money back, because that person's wallet still wouldn't be able to get confiscated, which is one of the biggest appeals of crypto, but it's also one of the biggest downsides in situations like this. My guess is BlockFi is not going to pursue any legal action against any of their users. And that's because there's a chance that crypto will not be given the same regulatory protection as a traditional bank would. And that means if that were to happen, that would set a huge negative precedent against the entire crypto community, which is a question that is just not worth finding the answer to unless it was over a substantial amount of money, which in this case, it wasn't. And the most important question is, what can BlockFi do today to make sure that something like this doesn't happen again in the future?
We're doing all we can to make sure that that'll never happen again. It's an unfortunate error that, allows for folks in the market to really think about that as a core competency and a core focus in what they do. So it sucks that it happened, but we're going to be stronger from it. We'll be able to, keep giving the same value to our customers, if not more, on a go-forward basis.
I hope that in the future there's going to be stricter requirements, or at least some kind of rules internally to make sure that stuff like this doesn't happen in the future, because as of right now, there is no standard, there is no precedent, and we have no way of knowing whether the courts will side with us or against us. And that's a big if. So unfortunately for now, BlockFi is going to probably have to front the cost of doing business. And in the meantime, the lesson I've learned for myself is to diversify my holdings and not keep it all in one place, just in case. So if there's a company that you use, whether it's centralized finance or decentralized finance, and you want to share that with me, let me know down in the comments below and I'll check it out. As always, don't forget to grab up to 2 free stocks with Webull. When you deposit $100 using the link down below, you can get up to 2 free stocks, each of which can be valued up to $1,850. And once you do, go track them automatically with my spreadsheet linked down below in my Patreon. Love you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you Monday, Friday, and sometimes a Wednesday. Don't forget to subscribe to Millennial Money Podcast, where we actually have a new video every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific with my friends Graham, Jeremy, and Kevin, and I'd love to know your thoughts about the rest of what happened. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.